Hey guys, how we doing? Welcome back, and today we're here again for another episode of Elvis Presley's Memorabilia. And if you remember from last week, we had a little interview there from PRESLEY and maybe Lisa Marie. And this week we've got an interview here from Ginger Aiden, so stick around because she's got obviously a few things to say, and also we've got the collector's edition to go through this week, and also the Elvis Weekly. So yeah, please stick around and let's start looking into these. So here we have it, everyone. That's the lineup here for this episode this week, and as usual we'll start off with the Elvis collection. And this one is a collection from number 15, it says there. So, and to start with, here we have a nice picture of Elvis there. This is an editorial, it says, so I'll try and skim past that. If you can pause that and try and make out what's going on. Second one here is just about Elvis's records and stuff, so not really much talking about his videos as well as movies. And there you go, got like a TV special he did there, and other bits and pieces he'd done. This one's like 10 years of Elvis. Well, it's 10 years since Elvis passed, I should say, sorry. Another nice picture there of Elvis. Again, just more on his records and movies. Same again there. It's like a Sun collection there from the Stun Records. Same again here, just more stuff. This is pretty much this is pretty much a good famous picture. I think Vernon there, Elvis, and I think that's, I don't know, I can't remember his name, but he's a very close friend of Elvis, this guy anyway. Another picture of Elvis, just more on his records and stuff. There's a nice, a few nice pictures there of Elvis. Not much else, this is just another picture there of Elvis. This looks like this one is a picture of his karate instructor. If you knew who he was, I did remember his name, but I can't think of it right now. But Elvis thought a lot of this guy. I think he even bought him a Cadillac, if I'm not mistaken. Like sometime around about that time, he bought Elvis bought him a Cadillac, and he was generous that way. Elvis was. That's probably just a scene off a movie set there, I'd imagine. Same thing again there. Elvis 10 years after. Like a picture of his wardrobe. And Graceland there as well. Right, that's that one then. That's one of the Elvis figurines you could buy if you want to. Right, and the next one now. This is a monthly special edition version. As it says there, an Elvis monthly special, Meet Star Special #1. So this is the first version of this Elvis monthly special magazine. So #1. I'm not sure what that's meant to mean, 2 and 6 maybe. But yeah, this is from Kid Galahad. The front page here, if you ever watched that, it's kind of like a Rocky movie, if you want to put it like that. But obviously Elvis did it first. But it's kind of like, yeah, a Rocky movie in its own kind of right. But all the Rockies just wrapped up into one with this Elvis movie. Right, so it's the picture of Elvis there. It's like a signed picture there of Elvis. Whether that's like a real Elvis signature or not, I couldn't tell you. Maybe it's just like his stage signature sort of thing. More, they're probably on the movie set or something. Again, Elvis Meets the World. This is a nice picture. Elvis and his mum and dad, Vernon and Gladys. Very, very nice picture. And at that point, Elvis was probably about his happiest because his mum was still there with him. And, you know, he loved his mum a lot. He thought a lot of her when she passed. It hurt him a lot. So, you know, and that's why he bought Graceland, was for her, really. You know, he said he'd buy his mum a nice house one day, and he did. And then obviously his dad went everywhere, Elvis did, Vernon did. You know, all the movies he was making, Vernon was always there. And by his side, you know, always, even on the last interview Elvis ever did, Vernon was there by his side all the time. So, yeah, Elvis Meets the World again there. Fans going crazy. More fans here going crazy. It's probably like Elvis in the army. Again, yeah, more pictures there of Elvis in the army. And Meet the Changed Elvis. So this was probably after the army with his slick look. And this is interesting, very, very interesting, this one. Elvis Presley with Frank Sinatra. Now you got to understand, these two here are down as legends. Frank Sinatra is seriously a legend in his own right. He was ruling in the 30s and 40s and halfway through the 50s till Elvis come along. But Frank Sinatra definitely was the man just before Elvis, and then Elvis come along and sort of knocked him off his perch a bit. But don't make no mistakes, Frank Sinatra is just as big entity as Elvis Presley. You know, a lot of people might not know who he is these days, but back in those days he was a big, big deal, Frank Sinatra. So, you know, you gotta have hats off to him for standing there, and then that's on the Frank Sinatra show. This was taken Elvis's first comeback from the army, and the Frank Sinatra, you know, he didn't really like Elvis too much in the beginning, but what happened was Elvis went into the army. He did his time, as big a star as Elvis was. He did his time in the army and came back, and Frank Sinatra respected that and said, right, well, let's get him on my show and welcome the boy back from the army, from Germany, and let's get him back on the road to recovery. And that's what happened. And then from there on, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., they were all friends after that. And they all played in Vegas at the same time. They sat round, had dinner and stuff together. They all respected Elvis, and Elvis respected them. You know, so they were good friends in the end. But in the very beginning, you know, it's hard to see when you're ruling at the top like Frank Sinatra was, someone else to come along and, you know, start taking a bit of your fame. So, but Frank, he's a legend. He did his time. So, yeah, happy days, that's that. We go along again, just bits from movies that he's done. This one's called Clint, Danny, Talisa, Deke, Pacer, Glenn, The Kid, Vince, Chad, and Toby. They're just some of the people that he's played in some roles over the time, and that's just a few, because as we all know, if you're an Elvis fan, he did about 35 movies, I think it was. And as I say, from the Galahad Kid, this is a clip here, and as I say, it's kind of like a Rocky film. If you ever get to watch it and you like Rocky, I think you might like this, Kid Galahad. Brilliant film. Yeah, just more clips here from the movie, from Deep Rivers. Just another one. There's a sort of a big poster of Elvis. And this was obviously Elvis with one of his characters. He does look familiar. I'm not sure what movie they're from, but she does look familiar. Jailhouse Rock, apparently, this one. I don't remember her in it, but I've watched it. And there we have it. Yeah. Right, this one. Another film there. They're all really good films. Talisa, this is a good film as well, if you've ever seen that. The Pacer, this is a really good film where he's half Indian and half white. You had to make a choice. Yeah, it just goes on, really. This is the film of that lady's, and I think this is her. This is a good film as well. I think this is the one where they got shacked up on the off the highway, and they just ended up staying there. That's it, really. There we go. So that's that episode of that monthly special, everyone. So let's get over now to the newspapers and see what Elvis was up to back when these were printed. To start off, this one he weren't around, because this one's 1982, everyone, so yeah, he weren't around. This is the Sun, Monday 19th of April 82, and the headline is there, "Who's pinching Presley's treasures?" So I think it says like, Elvis Presley Graceland Mansion is being robbed of its priceless possessions, and his widow Priscilla is up in arms. She's always up in arms about something, I suppose. She demands that staff in his house in Memphis, Tennessee take a lie detector test to identify the thieves who are supplying these wealthy collectors, obviously with Elvis Presley memorabilia and treasures. So yeah, I'm not sure how true it is or what, but that's what the headline was in 1982 for that one. I think there. Okay. This one here, Peter Pan of Pop. At 40, hair-dried Elvis is still the king. I'm not going to read too much into this. When Elvis Presley reaches the age of 40 on Wednesday, he will have spent almost half of his lifetime as the world's biggest superstar. So, yeah, that says something. Yeah, and that's a picture there of, that's there a picture of Linda Thompson, and that was the second to last girlfriend that he had. And this one is from 1975, so he was still alive when this one was made. Sunday People, January 5th, 1975. So yeah, he was still about when this was made, so yeah, happy days. Elvis birthday, Boeing with all the mod cons. Elvis has brought himself a belated 40th birthday present, a Boeing 787 with a few home comforts. So the Superjet cost over £1 million. So that's what I'm saying. These rappers and stuff these days have got all these jets and stuff. They're the first to do it, but they're not. Elvis did it first. He had it, you know, he was a big entity. Like, and this jet had 2 bathrooms and a kitchen and an office. You know what I mean? And a sauna. It goes on. There's just so much he had in there. It's like Poem from Home. But yeah, this is 1975, so yeah, he was still around when this one was printed. Just sort of like a baby picture of Elvis here, his favourite photo. So a little baby picture of Elvis. So yeah, that's it. And Moses talks to film director Dennis Sandler about Elvis. So they must have did a film back in, this is Friday weekend in September the 19th, 1970. So yeah, he'd have still been alive at this point when this paper was printed, 1970. So they must, whoever Dennis Sandler is, he must have been some maybe movie director or producer. So yeah, that's what that one's about. But coming closer so you can read it, I won't. Yeah, so I won't bore you. You can kind of read this yourself. No, I think the rest of it is just sort of fan stuff, really. I'm trying to make it out. As I say, everyone, if you can pause it, then please do, because it's a bit difficult to hold the paper here. Presley's preservation. Elvis Presley superfan. Vince Everett has opened up his own incredible collection of the King's records and souvenirs as a museum. This guy here, has opened up a museum, a shop or something, with all his memorabilia and stuff there. So if you know about this guy, his name is Vince with the Ex-Brits, I think this is. Yeah, that's it. Alright, Elvis the husband talks about Elvis the pelvis. So this is taken from, right, that is August something 1969. If I'm getting that right, 1969. This is quite an old paper from the 60s. So yeah, husband talks about Elvis the pelvis, Ray Connell, whoever that is. And there's like a few other bits there. To look at. So this one here, pelvis that gave music a new twist. And this one is from 1973, January 5th. And talks about probably Elvis in the army there. Alright, so that's that one. It's a big comeback for Elvis the Punch. So I think they're talking about his comeback from after being out of the army, maybe. And this is 1975. Elvis continued. I won't really go through that, but if you can read it. The Elvis Rock Tour is ready to roll again. So obviously there's a tour coming up, and Elvis is ready to roll again. Just a picture there of Elvis singing. Another picture, probably with an on-screen actor. Same thing with that one as well. And that's it. Just a little cut out there. And there we go. That's the last one now for this week. That's where Elvis grew up as a kid, and then he ended up going from sort of that to living in all of that. So yeah, that's it. And whoever these are from, Sam Phillips maybe, I think his name is, and his wife, because his wife always had big respect for Elvis. She you know, she fed him and everything and whatnot. So Elvis had big respect for her too. So one more here, which I forgot about, is Marion Presley says Ginger. And this is what mostly I was meant to read. Elvis Presley's girlfriend, former beauty queen Ginger Aiden, says he plans to marry her in December. So according to Presley, I mean, I think the date on this is 1977, maybe. He might have been still around that year because he died that year. Yeah, he was looking like he was planning to marry her, and probably might have had kids and stuff, because a lot of people say that he wasn't going to marry her, but I don't think that's true. You know, he didn't really give anyone else engagement rings and stuff, so, you know, I like Ginger. You know, she's always said good things about him. She's never put him down or anything, so she's always had a good word for Elvis. So yeah, definitely she's up there as one of the good guys, if you ask me. So yeah, that's it then. Yeah, so hopefully there's more interviews to come from Ginger and Lisa and Priscilla and Linda and a few others, and Margaret as well. There's definitely a lot more interviews to come from that. So yeah, if that was something that interested you, then please make sure you stick around for the next installment of our Elvis Presley memorabilia, and I'll be back again, obviously, with more stuff to show you very soon. So please like and subscribe. Please leave your comments down below, and I'll be happy to show anything that you kind of missed. So thanks everyone for watching. Have a good afternoon, and I'll see you soon.